Right. Having minor technical difficulties here, people. Okay, give me 1 second, JD. I'll send a link via the chat here. Give me 1 second. Having minor technical difficulties here, people. Mute. And message. What up, Scott? There's JD. There you go. Finally
hear me?
worked.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Oh, great. Perfect. How you doing, buddy?
Good. So work through the chat link, but it wouldn't work on the messenger link.
No, I hate Zoom. I really hate it. You need to pick a new platform, buddy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Scott Evans is here. What's up, Scott? I think Tim might join us.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because he's
Would you like to invite anybody else onto
I mean,
onto the podcast?
I mean, that's okay. I mean, we can have Tim on here. That's fine. But hey, before we start the conversation and everything, hey Billy, I just wanted to say, I wanted to give, if everybody's watching, I want to give you a big thank you, Billy, for not only letting me come on this live and to be part of this podcast, but you have done a lot for me this year. I'm telling you right now, you have made my flyers for the Old Home Days tournament that I put around town. You
Don't
have
worry,
been,
my friend.
huh?
Don't worry, my friend. It's all good.
No, I mean, I know, but I really appreciate everything you've done for me, you know, and everything you do for this community. You know what I mean?
My pleasure, brother. My pleasure. I'm going to share this post, share the live stream, and I'm going to tag you on Facebook.
All right.
All right, you're tagged. Post. All right. All right, so that's shared. Go ahead and share that to wherever you want on your Facebook.
Okay. Can you share it on Townville Arms of Steel page?
Yeah, probably. Share. That's a group, isn't it?
Yep, that's my team.
There it is. All right. Yep, there. All right, brother. I think we're gonna go ahead and get started.
All righty. All righty.
Got a few people watching.
Okay, cool.
Manolo, he is here. What up, brother? Scott Evans on the way to Cody Merritt's house. Very nice. Very nice. So, welcome everybody to East Ohio Arm Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Billy Collins, and on today's show, we have Mr. JD Fox. Welcome to the show, JD.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. First off, let's thank our sponsors and supporters of the podcast, SCI Roofing Services. We can't thank them enough for their continued support of the club. Morrow County Arm Wrestling League, we thank them so much for the continued support of the podcast. Grip Arm Sport, thank you so much for everything that you're doing in the community, Zach. Appreciate it so much. Also, we want to thank Kiwanis Club of East Liverpool for being a partner of East Ohio Arm Wrestling. We thank them so much. So let's get to the conversation, man. You wanted to talk about your upcoming event, July 15th. Let's kind of go over that, and you can explain to the viewers what's going on with that.
All right. Well, yeah, pretty soon here in about a month, July 15th, we're having our 4th annual Townville Old Home Days Arm Wrestling Tournament. And
wow, you've been doing that for 4 years now.
Yes, I have. If it's okay, I give a little backstory about how this all started.
Sure.
All right. I believe it was 2018. I was working at a little convenience store and I was on my break, and I said, well, summer's coming around, and Old Home Days, that's like a festival that's been around for 50 something years. This is like back when my mom was a baby. So I was like, I want to do something. And I thought, I want to put on an arm wrestling tournament. And because at the time in 2018, arm wrestling was so well known in Erie, and there was this group of guys in Titusville, which is like next door to Townville, and they were arm wrestlers. So Titusville and Erie were well known for arm wrestling. And I was like, well, wait a second. Well, why can't Townville, even though a small town, why can't Townville be well known for arm wrestling? And so I said, let me do something. And then in 2019 rolled around, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a tournament in Townville. I'm like, how? I was like, I got an idea. Let's bring it to the festival. And I went to the meeting with my mom. She was definitely my biggest support, because she was there all the way to, convincing the people that, we're good people, we're professionals, we don't get hurt, everybody will have a good time. And then the committee said, okay, yeah, sure, let's try it. How bad can it be, right? And let me tell you something, that committee always looks at me, and I could tell they say, we are so dang glad we wanted you to do this, because they have enjoyed it for so many years now. 2020 rolled around, and that's when the pandemic happened and things got canceled. Festivals, pretty much anything fun you wanted to do got canceled due to COVID, because we had quarantine and all that. So we didn't get the chance to have that in 2020. And that was sad too, because that was the year I was collecting sponsors to get t-shirts made up. And then I had to give all the money back because, well, it got canceled. And so after that, then 2021 rolled around, and that's when things calmed down a little bit, where we could have festivals and stuff like that, but we still had to be safe, So then I decided, okay, now is the time to try it. So I went and I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry. I was collecting sponsors, but I was going to do it for my event. But my close friend who lost her mom to stomach cancer was putting on a tournament and a fundraiser to cover the funeral expenses. So I used those sponsors to purchase shirts for her event. And I said, okay, 2022 is definitely my year. And so 2022, last year, you were there.
Yep.
Yep. And that's when I got t-shirts of my own. And I had, help from everybody like Tim, Dave Shell, everybody that was involved helped out a lot. So now this year, it's going to be the same thing. I've already got all the sponsor money. I've already talked to the shirt company. They're on the process of making the shirts. I've posted on all my social medias about what they look like and who sponsored. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm getting help from a friend of mine. He's bringing a couple of low boy trailers as stages, because people have because people have mentioned to me before they enjoy it, but they're having a hard time seeing it. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm getting some like updates, some minor updates. And I mean, nothing really is changing. Nothing really new is except, okay, fine, we're getting low boy trailers, but then on Saturday, like in the morning, see everybody, all the pullers are showing up late, like at 1:30, 2 o'clock to weigh in, and then we start at 3, which gives me and my friends the whole morning. And there is a parade that happens in the morning at the before the festival, and me and my friends are gonna be in the parade and everything. We're gonna throw candy. We're gonna, represent Townville Arms of Steel, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm really
That's
hoping for
awesome.
a great turn.
So, did you end up being able to having quite a few people on your float for the parade?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Danny Hilliard and his fiance. I'm gonna have
Awesome.
my friend Karen. I'm gonna have my friend Karen on there and a couple other people. I don't know
Great.
how many guys. I don't know how many guys are wanting to be in the parade. I'm trying to get my whole squad, like Chucky Peterson, Steve North, Tyler Van Epps, Danny, Nathaniel. I got my nephew who does arm wrestling too a little bit. Trying to get him. He's going to definitely.
I
He's definitely
suggest
coming on the floor.
strapping a arm wrestling table to the back of the truck or wherever you can. Just have it on your float with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll definitely have my table on there before, we set it up on the low boy trailers. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to throw candy out to the kids, and we're just going to try to promote my team, try to get more people involved with the sport as much as we can. Usually sometimes there's Tim Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
You can slide your screen, just go like that, flip to your left, and you should be able to see all three of us.
Yeah, I did that. I see you guys. We're all good. But yeah, Tim Lewis is he's my helper. He helps me. He gets what people weighed in, and he writes their names down, and then he'll make brackets and stuff like that.
Nice. That's cool. Tim, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
So you're helping Mr. JD out here. Appreciate
I'm gonna be
the help.
I've been doing the brackets for him. What is it, 5 years? I want to say we've been there now. It's quite a few. I know, 2020, obviously, no one really did anything that one year. But aside from that, I want to say it's been at least since like 2018 that we've been there.
Yeah.
Big Bell helped us out one year too.
Yeah.
I believe he's going to be back again.
JD, are you going to have the same reffing as you did last year?
I will have. I'm hoping to still have my head ref Jim Roof. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to find a down ref, this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't take much for somebody to give you a thumb.
Yeah,
it's not too difficult.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm sure you can figure that one out.
Right. Yeah,
Jim Roof is your head ref. That was the gentleman that head ref last year, correct?
Yeah, he's from Erie, I believe. Is that right, JD?
Yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania. He is from Erie. He's coming back to arm wrestling. He's been practicing with us Wolfpack guys now for a while.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember like years back, we had a couple of matches, but it's been probably 4 or 5 years since we've pulled a match.
JD, you want to go over all the specifics for the event, if you would, like all your weight classes and all that stuff?
Sure,
Go
absolutely.
over all that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first off, this tournament there's no pro, there's no amateur, there's no nothing. It's open class, which means everybody can do it. We try to it was Tim's idea to make it open class, because when you have a pro and an amateur class, you get less people to pull, and
That's
it usually
comes down to, the numbers did not warrant, us to be able to do a breakdown like that.
And so I thought, okay, and it's actually worked out pretty well, actually. The time goes fast. It's not like a forever thing, when you have pro and amateur. It's just you're going on one weight class and then to the next and to the next. And then, so basically how it's working is we have men's open 160, 185, 210, and 211 plus, and you can do both left and right. And then we have we have teens, but we go by weight class. We go by weight when it comes to the teens, and finally we have masters. We have a masters 190 to, I think it was 210 plus, I believe. So,
Okay.
yes.
That sounds
So
cool.
those are all my weight classes there.
And then did you have ladies?
I tried to get ladies, but we do not have that many ladies around the area at all.
Maybe do if you have some show up or whatever, you could do one class, open ladies open class, right arm only, maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
I
But
know we've attempted that in the past and just have had little success with it.
yeah.
Uh,
It's hard, man. It's hard getting the ladies to join in the fun, but I know Chucky's wife, she's a puller, right? You got Martha up in that area.
Right. But right now, she's busy right now with racing. She does.
Yeah.
So she is got her hands full right now with racing right now, which I understand. So it's perfectly fine. But no, we've tried to get women involved with this tournament. Many women have tried, and I've tried this year to get a super match with a woman, but no men had contacted me or anything. So I was just like, okay, well then we're just sticking, because I also forgot to mention that we also have 4 super matches in the process before the
Let's hear
tournament.
about it.
All right. Well, for starters, you and Chucky are the number 1. That's right. Show them arms. Hopefully Chucky will be a little scared seeing them arms. And actually, I believe, there's no money on the line, but I think there's something else you guys are betting on, because I've been hearing something about how you're a big fan of Sheets and he is a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts.
Tim Hortons versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Tim
I'm
Hortons.
planning on bringing a Tim Hortons shirt and wearing the Tim Hortons shirt while we pull.
Do it, man. I'd do it.
Oh,
Man.
one other thing, if we could, possibly, could my right arm match be first rather than my left?
You mean with John Bakes?
Yeah, because my right arm, in my eyes, is more important than my left. And I would
Okay.
rather have more energy for my right arm than my left arm.
Sure. Yes, you and John Bakes can be the first ones up.
and then the other match we have me and John Husnowski.
Yes, John hit
That
and him.
is left-handed.
And if you remember, Tim, that the first time I put on the Old Home Days tournament, or the super match contest in Townville, you and John Hanoski had a super match years ago.
Yeah, but that was right-handed, which we all know is not even remotely close to the same level as my
Well,
left
right.
arm. I don't remember the actual. I want to say that he won 3-2. Honestly, it was a long. I know that he won, but it was a very close match. I don't remember the actual final score, but I know that it was definitely not 3-0. But yes, that was about
Right.
5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep. It was that long
I need
ago.
to make it up that way and get some training in with John. He offered to have me up for a training session. I need to make it up there. Just gripping up with him at Garage Wars, it was eye opening to different things that he was showing me just in that short amount of time.
Right.
He's like a young up and comer, that Aiden LeMay, and he's pulling someone down there from like south of Harrisburg, like down around Chambersburg. It's like that Mike Geck, or if I pronounce that wrong, I'm sorry, but
And
it's
what,
something.
or JD, what's the last super match?
Oh, okay. So the last super match is with a guy named Alec. Hold on.
Alec, yeah, that's what it is. It's
Alec
Alec
Guth.
Gothard and Aiden LeMay.
Guth.
Yes.
That's it.
Guth.
Guth. Yeah, Guth. Yes.
Yeah, Guth. Yeah.
And who's he facing?
Aiden. What was it?
Aiden LeMay is from Massachusetts.
Aiden
He
LeMay.
goes to a lot of the-
Massachusetts. Jeez, he's driving all the way from Massachusetts.
Apparently, I believe that he has family somewhere up in the Erie area.
Oh, okay.
Like he told me that one time. I don't know the whole run of it, but I'm pretty sure it probably is some kind of a combination of visiting.
Well, that makes it a little bit better then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Very good.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So what's the goal for your event? Is it just to help out the Townville club, or do you have a something that you're raising money
well-
for here?
No, the goal is this: whatever I have left over of sponsor money, because see, some of the sponsor money paid for the shirts, and I have left over.
Yep.
What I do with the leftover is I go to the people of Townville, and I give the rest of the sponsor money to them because that helps with the fire hall.
Nice.
So it is charity, essentially. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but they told
fire.
Yeah. Right. But the committee also told me too, they said, they want me to make some money out of this too, because it's my event, it's,
Yep. You got to make some money to pay for your refs and your tables and all that stuff, your equipment and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds good. Are you looking at a goal for your entries this year?
No, it's just the same as always. It's $20 an arm for
No. I'm
adults.
saying, do you have a goal in mind of entries that you are hoping that you get this year?
Oh, you mean like people showing up and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, for me, I'm just the type where, when I make when I create these events and stuff on Facebook and people say they're going or interested, I say, okay, are you really going? Are you really interested? Or is something going to come up last minute? And I'm just like, you know what? You just show up if you show up. It's just playing like a guess who game, of who's coming. You know what I mean?
I mean, any tournaments like that.
Yeah, and I mean,
realistically, I think if we get 75 entries to this, we're doing really well.
Yeah, and I mean, I already know the super matches are all committed. They're already, they're already committed to this, so that I already knew that. But the polling, the competition wise, it all depends who's going to show up and who's not. I believe last year, after the tournament was over and everything, David Shell had sent me a message saying that my tournament, even for it being a small event, was like the biggest, like rank, like it was the highest tournament that people had showed up.
It had more people show up to it than that thing they had in New York, I think, the same day or whatever it was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think Tim is definitely on the right amount. I think anything close to about 75 entries for you, I think that would be a great amount of pullers, at the event.
Right.
And if it's over 75, hey, that's extra icing on the cake for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know it
All
was
right, Billy,
definitely.
I do have to run here, but thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming, Tim.
Thanks,
you.
Tim.
I think it was definitely a good time last year, and we're looking
Oh.
forward to it again. And I'm hoping I can do something left arm with Chucky. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of my left, but
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
I
Dude.
saw him and Danny pulling, and I saw him pull through Danny's left arm, and Danny beat Anthony, and Anthony whoops me left arm.
Right.
So I think I'm a big underdog now, to be honest with you. Left arm for sure.
And to be frankly honest, Chucky is getting a hell of a lot stronger from when I first met him.
You tell him to be at 185. Tell him I wanted that 185. I talked to him.
You
He
want
said,
him up
well,
at 180?
he's going to try to get to close to 185, but I want to pull the tournament too. So if I have
sure,
any
man,
left, then I want to pull the tournament right and left also.
Yeah, no, that's fine, dude.
So that's the goal. That's the goal, to be able to just, get as much pull in there while I'm up there as possible. Try not to get too much damage in during the super matches.
Yeah. Do you, man, have you noticed that there's been a lot of super match competitions than regular arm wrestling tournaments this year?
They're easier to
put together.
Easier to put together. They don't. You got to understand, whenever you're having tournaments, if you have a tournament too close to another tournament, it steps on people's toes as far as timing and all that stuff. But if you just have like these small super match cards where it only takes, maybe 8 to 15 pullers out of the field of available pullers in the area, that's a whole lot easier than, 2 tournaments, fighting for a group of pullers, So exactly. I think the super match cards are going to get a whole lot more popular. And to be honest with you, I think it is going to benefit the growth of the sport because watching a super match card is a whole lot more entertaining than watching a tournament.
Right.
So if we can make it more entertaining for, the common folk to watch, have some nice commentary for it and stuff like we did at the Garage Wars, we want to make it as entertaining as possible. And that's what you're doing in August also with your
actually, that's actually another thing I wanted to talk about too on this podcast. Was not only was I talking about Old Home Days, but let me tell you, the Old Home Days tournament is my baby. Like, it's been, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years now, well, 4 if you don't count 2020, but it's been my, baby. It's been something I am passionate about because it's my hometown. The Meadville one, wait till you hear this story. See, I was only planning on putting Old Home Days, and then that was it. No more putting on tournaments until next year, whatever. I get home from work, I got a message on Messenger from this woman who's part of the Meadville committee, who said, JD, we're looking to put on a arm wrestling tournament in our Thunder in the City festival in Meadville. She said, the only problem is I don't know anything about arm wrestling. There's not anyone in this area that knows about arm wrestling. And she said, my kids are the only one that pointed you to my direction. And I called her right up and I just said, well, what's going on? Tell me what you want. And then at first I was like, I said, let me think about it. I told her, give me a few days to think about it. Hung up on her. And I think it was like a couple hours in, I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. I said, wait a second. I stopped myself. I said, why the hell am I putting her on hold? Why am I saying I'll think about it? Because I thought about this. See, I went crawling to the Old Home Days committee to pitch the idea for a tournament in Townville, right? Now, all of a sudden, this woman from Meadville, which is like the next town over to Townville, is come crawling to me asking for me to put on something like that. So why am I saying I'll think about it? So instantly I said, okay, it's not going to be a tournament. We're going to make a super match. Easy, simple. So I emailed her, said, okay, I'm in. Let's do it. And so, and for a while it was hard because I kept posting on Facebook, hey, I got a super match contest in August. Who wants a match? And all I could hear was crickets and crickets. And like, what the hell? Nobody wants a super match? And it wasn't until Chucky Peterson, who is a big part of this event too. He's my co-host because he's my guy that found me matches. If it wasn't for him, I'd still be hearing those crickets right now because nobody would be interested. But yeah, me and Chucky, we've got a lot going on for that tournament too, for that competition too.
Yeah. What are the matches so far for that one that you have?
All right, so far we got Cody Smith versus Scott. He's your guy.
Agulia.
Yeah, Agulia. Yeah, we got that's the one
That's
match.
a huge match right there, dude.
Yeah,
Huge. That's a big match.
yeah. I'm hoping it brings a lot of attention. The second one we have is Tim Lewis versus he's a guy from New York. I forgot his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
Made the flyer.
I got my laptop right here. I'll just bring that one up. What is that one again?
I think it was what you mean the
Thunder
event?
in the Valley, right?
Thunder in the City.
Thunder in the City. Okay. Yeah. I make so many flyers, brother, that I just get an idea, I make it, and then it goes to wherever it needs to go, and then
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it goes.
Right.
Discussion. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's Scarione.
Yeah, that's Tim Lewis versus him. He's from New York.
Yep.
Scranton.
That's a left-hand match too.
Yes. And so that was the second one. The third one we have is oh my god, what was it?
I got
well,
it.
we got
Michael Malone.
yes,
This is
that's your guy.
Against last name Kelly.
Yes, that's one of my guys. That's from
Okay.
Team
What's his first
Wolfpack.
name?
Ian.
Ian. Okay, so it's Michael Malone versus Ian Kelly, right arm.
Yes.
And I'm assuming they're probably going to meet at like 180 pounds ish, maybe something like that.
I never asked Ian what his weight was, so
I know Michael's roughly between 190 and 180, usually walk around, but he competes at 176.
right.
And then you got Campbell and Worst.
Yes, Elijah Campbell is another team member of ours, Wolfpack. He's going up against a kid who I'm probably gonna have to like talk with this Elijah guy and say like our team member Elijah, and I'm gonna have to say, hey, let me talk to this Worst guy, and I'm probably gonna have to think about maybe try to train him a little bit, try to get him because I don't think he's ever pulled before. So, but I'm gonna try to talk to him, say, hey, you want me to show you a few things to get ready, and then yeah. So I do have two new matches for you to make a flyer, but I haven't got their pictures yet. It's Nathaniel Richards versus my nephew Dominic Merritt. That's okay. I think that was left arm, and then right arm was this. It was Nathaniel and Tim Lewis's buddy or training partner, or something like that. I forgot what his name was. Oh man, I have to take the pictures of my nephew and Nathaniel for you to make the poster, and then
I think I have Nathaniel's picture still from the last from Garage Wars. I do believe I can use that.
Okay, well, that's
people. I'll need pictures of them for sure.
Right, and I'll figure out to get my nephew's picture to put from Nathaniel's, and then pretty much I only need one more match. I need one more last match, and it's Danny Hilliard who wants a match. He wants a left arm match, and I believe I'm trying to get one of your boys. I believe I was trying to get Josh.
Yeah, Croxel asked me about that, and I think it would probably actually be a pretty good match, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
so reach out to him, or else I'll talk to him tomorrow at
Right.
practice, and I'll see if he can do that also. But he's got two little babies, so timing sometimes doesn't work out real good for him.
No, it's
But
understandable. I get it. I get it.
I'll see if we can't get that left arm match for Danny. And
But,
Danny's what, 198?
I don't, to be honest.
Yeah, I do believe he's 198. So
Right.
if Croxel can't do it, maybe Bachelor could do it, or somebody else possibly. We'll see what happens. We got plenty of time for that.
Oh,
You already
yeah.
got what, 5 or 6 matches already confirmed anyway. So
Oh, yeah.
just out of are you gonna have commentary for that? Like, are you gonna talk through the matches? Because you got to kind of explain to people what's happening while it's happening.
Okay. Yeah. I'll probably do something because I am going to be announcing and having a microphone.
Yeah,
but
you're gonna want to do that for sure.
But it's not, but it ain't going to be like fancy smanchy like yours. Like, it's not like, I have a laptop or I have a guy.
You know exactly what is happening, All right. So, puller A is, he's going for a top roll. A top roll is whenever you pull back straight through the fingers, and you just kind of got to explain it to the people. That's most likely their first experience with arm wrestling. So you kind of got to explain what's happening in an arm wrestling match before any of the matches happen. You know what I mean? Like, try to explain to them, okay, so this is a top roll, this is a hook, and this is a press. You know what I mean? And they got to keep their hand on the peg. Just like the general rules of the event.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. So, think about that, and, just try to make it as entertaining as possible, because, the more entertaining it is, the easier it is for them to ask you to come back.
Right. Well, actually, this is one of the tournaments where I just hope that they'll just say, "Oh, that's cool. Thanks for bringing it out." And they just, just want it one time. Because to be frankly honest with you, like, one tournament is good enough for me. Like, like the old home days one is my baby. I will definitely do it as long as I can, as long as it takes. But when everybody's like saying, "Well, can you do this in my town, or can you do a tournament here and there?" It's like, I'm gonna have to pass, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's just,
keep this in mind. There is a possibility of East Ohio Arm Wrestling running a promotion also. So, say, like you just said, like, if somebody doesn't want to run an event, but you have a venue and you have people that want you to come and put an event on, I'm thinking it's going to be possible in the future for East Ohio Arm Wrestling to do that. Okay. So say Meadville, they needed something going on for X day. If we're available, we take all the tables up there. We can take the backdrops, the audio, all that stuff, take it all up there with us, put on the event. They pay for, the reffing, they pay for, the availability of the tables and all that stuff. And then we just go on there and we put on the event. If they want a tournament, then, it obviously costs the money for the awards or whatever,
Right.
So, I think this might actually be, a good opportunity for more events, especially super match events, because they're nice and easy to get together. You only need 3 matches, and you can make that last an hour, as long as they're good matches. But you get a bunch of 3-0s, and 3 matches is overdone in 15 minutes.
Right.
So as long as you got good matches, you can make it last, but that's a good possibility that East Ohio Arm Wrestling is going to be able to make that happen for the surrounding areas. And I'm not saying we're willing to travel 6 hours or nothing like that, but within a couple 2-3 hours of our area, so you guys are only 2 hours away from us. So
right. And I actually, if it came down to where the the people at Meadville and the committee really enjoyed it that much, and they wanted again, I would recommend them to go to you guys, because really, like, you know,
Or you could talk to John Hanoski, and he could
Yeah.
possibly put something together too.
yeah, he anybody can do it. It's this competition in Meadville, I volunteered to help because they said, you want to do it, all right, I'll do it. But I'm just hoping to do it one time, be done with it. But if they like it so much and they want to keep going with it, like I said, that would leave me with 2 tournaments every year, which I don't want to do that. I just want to stick to one tournament. And
Well,
then
definitely
that's
just
it.
do the one tournament, but super match arm wrestling, that's totally different. It's not as stressful as putting on a tournament.
I still
You know,
remember that.
you obviously you got to find the good matches, but
Right.
if you're able to put on a good show, the matches will come naturally. People will gravitate towards your events because they're entertaining and people feel like they're valued for their time. You understand?
Right.
So you got to make it entertaining for the pullers and the folks watching too. So
Mhm.
the more entertaining you can make it, the easier it is going to be on you down the road.
Right. Yeah. Because I still remember back in 2019 when I very first decided to do something for Townville to put arm wrestling on the map. The first thing I thought was, okay, well, I didn't have trophies at the time and I didn't have enough money to purchase trophies. So that was the idea that I thought, okay, well, we could do super matches. And I was remembering looking for super matches. And let me tell you what, I just could not. I was stressing after stressing. I mean, my own mom can tell you that too. My mother, she kept watching me stress out and just talk about, well, I gotta find this and I gotta find this
Yeah.
match. It's like, oh my God, it is so like hard to get somebody to commit to a super match, because then people are like saying, well, I can't be written in stone yet because I got this going on and maybe I've got something else coming up. And it's like, seriously? Like, okay.
Well, everybody has their things that are happening in their lives. Even at Garage Wars, we had multiple people not even make it. So it is what it is. But you always have people there that are willing to step up, which is
No,
really
yeah. There's always been there have been moments when I did the old home days where me, for example, I was, I think it was, it was 2021. I believe I had looked at Andrew Hillard. I think you might know him. He's that dude that looks Hawaiian, and he's,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think him and I decided to have a super match in 2021 at my event. And I wasn't planning on pulling that day at all. I was wearing a polo, for God's sakes. I was looking all professional, but here I am looking like an arm wrestler from the 80s wearing a polo. And, and then the same thing happened in 2022 when originally John Bakes was supposed to pull a guy from Titusville, but the guy never showed up. And I felt bad for John because, well, his name was all over the paper for that match. And it was like, and I just felt bad. So I became the substitute. I became the puller for John. And, John, you were there. He smoked me,
Yeah, it is what it is. At least you were available and you were willing to jump in there and help out, and it's appreciated by the pullers,
Yeah, exactly. I like to do what I can to make everybody happy,
Yeah. I would, just don't stress out about, buying awesome awards and stuff like that, because I'm telling you, dude, the awards, they end up sitting on a shelf and they get
collecting.
People just end up throwing them away. So,
Yeah,
me personally, I take this for whatever it is, but just the cheap Amazon medals, dude, those are perfect. They're
that's where I
cheap.
get them.
They're easy to store. You can, throw them on the wall if you want, that's man, I enjoy that. Just getting the small medals,
Oh yeah, no, that's what I do. I go on Amazon and I find those ones with the blue ribbons around and stuff, and I get the gold, the bronze, and the
Oh, one thing that I think I might do in the future, and what I want to do for sure is have, either, the the weight class and the hand, either engraved on them on the rear, if you
yeah,
know somebody with an engraver, or like just a little label maker and just put it right on the back, first place, 154 right hand,
right, yeah,
men's
yeah,
right
yeah,
hand, you know what I mean? Just have the information for your event, you know, and the class, and, whether or not it was first, second, or third, just put a
hmm
little label on the back,
hmm
because that's what I do for most of mine. If there's no label on it, I just write on the back of it, what it was for, what the date was, and whether or not it was first, second, or third, or whatever.
yeah, right. That
So
that's something for the future, but I'd have to look deep into that because I don't know if I would find anybody that would do that. I don't know if there is a place that makes that stuff.
no,
Or
no,
I
no.
mean,
Just look up label maker, and you'll
oh,
use some of the entry fees. Okay, so
mhm.
out of your entry fees for your next year, you're gonna buy a small label maker, and then learn how to use the label maker, and then make your own labels. That's the
Oh,
cheapest way to do it, instead of having somebody else do it, because you're gonna have way more money in it than it's worth.
right, 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 right.
But yeah, that's just ideas for you.
Oh yeah, no. Every year at the old home days, something pops up in my head. Somebody makes a reference or makes a suggestion, and
You
every year
always learn. Every year you're always gonna learn from
your
your past
mistakes.
experiences. Not and don't think of them as mistakes either. Think of them as learning opportunities. you
Yeah,
know
got
so
you.
as a learning opportunity, last year you had a couple guys that weren't able to show up or whatever. Okay, so maybe this year you have some backups. You line up people as backups for matches, just in case you have a feeling somebody doesn't show up or something like that.
Right,
Just
right,
an
right.
idea. You
Yeah,
know. So if you kind of have a sneaking suspicion that somebody isn't going to show up for a match, and it's a right arm 220-pound match. Okay, so who else do you have in the event that is around that weighs that? Okay, so then you ask that person, hey, would you mind filling in for a super match? And then you give them $40 or something like that, or give them a free entry into the event for filling in for the super match.
yeah,
You know,
right,
so you're gonna learn, you're gonna get better, and I know you
yeah,
will,
right.
for sure. I
Yeah,
had a
with
good
no,
time last year for sure, and I
oh
and I
yeah,
like the idea of having it up on the trailer.
yeah, yeah. Because I just like I said, some elderly people let the we every year the old home days committee, they always have like some kind of picnic for everybody that was involved with setting up the festival and helping out. They always have like a little picnic, and then they always talk about, well, what can we improve for next year? What can we add on? What should we
One
do?
thing, make sure if you're going to be on a trailer, make sure the trailer's big enough for your two pullers, your down ref, and your head ref.
Oh yeah,
There's
no,
got to be enough distance, because you can't really have a down ref or a head ref not standing on the trailer.
oh no,
You know
yeah, no,
what I'm saying?
we've already got it planned to where we have two trailers. We're bringing two trailers, and they're
Oh,
gonna be put together to make
beautiful,
one big stage.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so it's um but then that festival in Meadville, I did ask them if they could help me bring a trailer for the stage, and they said they
Do
would.
they
But
do they not have a stage?
in Meadville,
Yeah.
yeah, but if they do, it's for the band only. Like there's gonna be live music.
Oh, okay.
See, Old Home Days also has a stage too, but they're the same way. They have live music. Every festival that has asked me to put on a tournament or anything like that, I know they have live music.
So for mine, for July 1st, for the Palco and Loving match, our gap where we have our super matches is actually prior to the main band. So we're opening up for the main band for that Saturday.
Oh, okay, cool.
You could even think about doing that for a super match card, Meadville, say, hey, how about we put these super matches on as a precursor to your main event band? And, it could be your opener, and all you got to do is just have enough space there for your table, your two competitors and your two refs. That's all you need.
Right.
It's an idea.
Right.
But that's what we did last year. It worked out perfect. We only had to have, 5-6 people up there at most. And as soon as it's over, you pull the stuff off, the band starts setting up all their stuff, and there you go.
Right.
Works out good. Hopefully, everything goes off without a hiccup.
No,
we got
yeah.
Oski coming down this year for helping me out in commentary.
Oh yeah, he's been doing a lot of commentary for you, huh?
Yep. And then myself and Justice Black, we're gonna be reffing our matches.
Yeah.
For July 1st. Oh, let's see here. Top hands pulling team. Chris Wood will take some matches, brother. Thanks. Chris Wood, he's from Beckley, West Virginia. Okay. Get a hold of Danny Adkins, Adkins. Those guys will take matches if you need some also. Huge guys, so you need some very strong opponents.
Right.
Jack Jacobson's here. What's up, Jack? Last armbenders, baby. Bakes. John's in the chat. Challenge matches at Townville. Best of 3 or 5. 5 for mine. I don't know about the other ones.
I think they're all going to be best out of 5.
Yeah. How's John's endurance?
Hanoski?
Have good? No, John Bakes.
Oh, Bakes. Oh,
Does he have good endurance?
I'm glad you brought that up because he is he gets crazy on that table, let me tell you.
Well, if he runs out of endurance, I want a best of 7 then. I'll do that.
You're gonna
if he can outlast me, I want best of 3.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see.
You have to talk that with him.
What's that?
So you're gonna have to go down to the live chat feed and have to ask John Bakes yourself if he wants.
Well, I don't. The only time I've ever got to see John pull was against you, and like you said, it was a little bit of a mismatch, and then also him against Tim. But I've never had an actual ready go against him, so I don't know necessarily John's level.
Well, he's been very. I see him at practice, and he's been having a lot of endurance with him. Like when he pulls, I mean, he's literally pulling as hard as he can. I mean, you know how guys when they pull during practice and they put a lot of effort into it, they're just yelling and grunting as they're pulling. That's him. He's becoming.
Well, let me tell you something. We're gonna put on a show for Townville. I guarantee you that.
Oh, trust me, Townville is gonna love it. I mean, the guy who puts it on, who has put it on for years, the guy's name is Gerald Molly. What a great man. He's a very nice guy. He is the one who said, come to the meeting and pitch the idea and we'll think about it. And of course, he's the first year we put this thing on, like when we first put this thing on in 2019, he came over to our area. And I thought he was coming over because I thought, oh my God, we're being too loud. We're disturbing the band. We're like, what's going on? He comes over and I just had my bullhorn because I had a bullhorn at the time, not my microphones. And I said, "Hold on a second." And I go, "What's wrong, Gerald? Is everything okay?" And he had the widest eyes you'd ever seen on this dude. He went like, "Everything's great. Everything's great." Like he was just, he loved it. And after it was over, he said, "JD, will you be back again? Will you do it again next year?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I'll do it for sure." I said, "You loved it?" He goes, it was a number one at the Old Home Days. They said it was the best event they'd ever put on.
Good, good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man, I am too. I can't tell you how.
It's going to be a great event. But JD, I think we're gonna start wrapping it up.
Great. And we wrapped it up at a good time.
Mike Williamson's going to be going live with Dave Shea here in a moment. So I think we need to cut this one off so that way they can have their time also.
Oh, good.
So everybody, if you guys want to switch over to Mike Williamson at Redline Arm Wrestling on Facebook, you guys can check out his podcast. But yeah, so everybody check out what is it again, JD?
Townville Arms of Steel Facebook page.
Yeah, and then Old Home Days, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. The 4th annual Old Home Days arm wrestling event page, and then the Thunder in the City event page, and check them out.
Yep. So Old Home Days is July 15th, and it starts when?
It starts at 3:00.
Okay, awesome. Cool, man. Well, JD, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. It was a pleasure having you.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you ended it at the right time. I thought we were going to be here till dark time. So.
Oh no, it's okay. Like I said, when there's multiple shows going on, in the same night, I definitely like to make sure everybody gets their time and
gets their airtime. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is my first podcast, by the way, because every time you go on your podcast and I come in, I'm always in the bottom corner, just sitting there like this. And then you guys like, "Hey, what do you think, JD? Huh? Oh yeah, that's great." And then here I'm actually talking I'm talking your ears off for the first time. So.
Feel free to speak up and speak out for, whatever you want to talk about.
Right. Well, I appreciate it, Billy. Thank you very much.
No problem, man. Appreciate you being on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks everybody for being here. You guys go check out Mike Williamson on Facebook, Redline Arm Wrestling. Go watch his podcast with Dave Shea. Thanks for being here. You guys all have a